Many people come and go to the mountains of Appalachia. They were born here, then moved for the promise of fortune and fame. They live their lives, then pass on, and slowly with time have been forgotten, only to have their story rediscovered, then told to the world, bringing their memory to light again. Many of the stories were rediscovered by folks visiting old cemeteries, then looking up what can be found about them. Some stories are filled with awe and wonder, others filled with absolute terror. Today's story is brought to us by Jana Petty. She called this Submission Headstone Stories. Today's story is of Mr. John McBride. His grave was located in the old Union Cemetery in Hackett, Arkansas. His is one of the 4 oldest burials there. So folks, sit back, relax, and listen to the story of Mr. John McBride. Appalachia, the mountains are like no other. From its rigid terrain, beautiful wildlife, to the people that live their lives here, to the strange, unexplained stories that folks share. Join me while I share this amazing place, one story at a time. John McBride had an interesting life. He married, had several children, and even a run-in with the law, and passed at the home of his oldest son. John McBride was born February the 12th, 1818, in Alabama. His mother was Nancy Ham. His father, Thomas McBride. March the 3rd, 1842, John would marry Elizabeth Louisa Susan Roden. She was known as Louisa. She was born November 14th, 1821. Her mother, Catherine McKitty. Her father, Elkanah Roden. While living in Alabama, John and Louisa would have 3 children. James Irvin, born in 1843, Sarah Matilda in 1845, and William was born in 1846. John with Louisa was listed in the 1850 census as a farmer in District 7, Itawamba County, Mississippi, owning 80 acres. While in Mississippi, Daniel Black was born in 1848. Lucinda was born in 1849. And Little John, born in 1851. And Elizabeth, born in 1854. And another daughter, Nancy, born in 1856. And twins, Maddie and Thomas, were born in 1857. In 1860, the family would move to the Cold TWP section of Sebastian County, Arkansas. Cole was a small coal mining town outside of Hackett, Arkansas. Joseph Macon was born in 1860, and in the mid-1860s, the family would move to a coal community in Mississippi. John was still listed a farmer, and the value of his home was $1,200, which equals $474,011 in today's currency. All the children were living at home with them. The older boys stayed home to work at the farm with their father. The girls attended school. The younger children would get more education than their parents. John and Louisa could not read nor write, signing only with an X. Two more children would be born in Mississippi, Ben in 1876 and Ludi in 1878. John had a secret job on the side besides farming. He often ran bootleg whiskey to Oklahoma. January the 1st, 1887, he was arrested 22 miles from Hackett in Scullyville, Oklahoma. Scullyville's name comes from the Choctaw word iskui, meaning money. This was where the Choctaw members collected their annuity payments from the Choctaw Agency. John was caught with 20 gallons of illegal liquor, planning to deliver it to the Choctaw Nation. John would appear before hanging Judge Isaac C. Parker in Fort Smith, Arkansas. He pled guilty July 4th of 1888 and was sentenced to 30 days in jail and a $500 fine. $17,000 in today's money. Once he was finished with his fine and sentence, he and Louisa moved to the Choctaw Nation in LaFleur County, Oklahoma. 1900, John was listed as a teamster in the census. The two would move back to Hackett, Arkansas, where they spent the rest of their final days. Sadly, Louisa passed March the 17th, 1902, and she was laid to rest in the Old Union Cemetery. John would live another 10 years, passing in 1912 at the age of 94 years. He was placed by Louisa's side to spend eternity together. Well, folks, I want to thank you for sitting and listening to this unique tale of John McBride. A very interesting part of this story that I left out when Jana submitted the story through the email, the last name McBride stood out because I knew that I was kin to some of them. So through some research, I found out that John McBride is actually a very distant cousin of mine. So how interesting is that? I want to say a special thank you to Jana for submitting this story. I absolutely love the name that she come up with it, calling it Headstone Stories. So we appreciate her. And keep in mind, if you have any stories that you would like to share from your family or an experience you had, hit up the email at myerstalesofappalachia@gmail.com. I appreciate y'all listening. I love yous to pieces. And I'll see you next time.